As usual, waiting for YouTube to catch up. There it is. YouTube to catch up. Okay. Okay, change that. Alrighty, it is 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that means, you know what, we're live from Cabot, Arkansas, and this is Answering Your Financial Questions with Coach Steve Money. Quick plug for myself, if you want more financial content, just scroll down past the Oak Island, past live streams. Most of those will be financial stuff, sometimes some game streams. But then it's this show, Answering Your Financial Questions, and this is episode 92 that we're doing right this second. And so that will be in the playlist as well, back in the music playlist. We'll get to in a second. And also the Ramsey Show After Show, and I have 4 of those coming up that I know the dates of. That's going to be Monday, Memorial Day, and that's going to be 6 p.m., approximately 6 p.m., whenever the Ramsey Show on YouTube ends. On Monday, probably a replay on Monday for Memorial Day, but I will be live right after. Also, Thursday, 30th, May 30th, Thursday will also be one. And June 19th and 21st. That is a Wednesday, Juneteenth, and Friday, the 21st of June will also be. So 2 this month and 2 next month. Actually, I've already done some this month, so it's more. Okay, and then the music playlist, you're the first to hear it. New song coming this weekend, and a much, much better video than I usually put out. And so I'm trying to learn how to make good videos, and so hopefully you'll think that one is good. And I think the song is a really great idea as well. But so far, there's about 9-ish, 8 or 9, something like that, Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. And so check those out if you are so inclined. All the way back to the original Baby Steps song that I did. It's more like 3 years ago. It says 2 years ago, but it's more like 3 years ago. Also John Deloney song, Rachel Cruz song, Jade Warsaw song. Another Baby Steps song to Dua Lipa's Levitating. George Camel song. Rachel Cruz song, the full length version. And That's What Gives Financial Peace as well. Instead of That's What Makes You Beautiful, That's What Gives Financial Peace. How about that? Most of the time I get these ideas when I'm driving to or from work, and I'm hearing that on the other song on the radio, and just a Ramsey-centric lyric pops into my head. All right, let's get into the questions. Enough yapping. Got my water. A little bit of water here. Not quite as crinkly, but some of it froze. I put it in the freezer so it'd be cold. And so sorry about that, but not quite as crinkly. I just squoze it by accident, and so that's why it made noise that time. All right, Waits Visit 7164 says debt help. Okay, that is what we definitely can help with. Currently have 3 credit card, all of them between 24 to 30% interest. Yeah, this is why you do not take out debt. That is why that needs to be your last option. You do anything else you can except take out debt. Even if it's go without the thing that you think you want, that you think you need as well. Most often people don't need the stuff that they say they need. With those, about 6.3K into debt, work full-time, bringing about $2,400 a month. I mean, so that's not crazy. So you just need to be intentional with the money. Boyfriend pays for rent, but I pay for our utilities and half of childcare for our child. Okay. Stop the tape right there. Boyfriend. You have a child, you're living together, get married. Mr. Ramsey would suggest that you don't shack up and you don't have a child with someone you're not married to. Which brings the bills I pay to about $600 a month, and not including groceries or my credit card bills. All right, $600 a month out of 24, so that leaves 18. Where's the 18 going? The bills are $600 a month. Where's the $1,800 a month going? I feel like even when I'm still running out of money by the end of the month. How? Oh, not including groceries or the credit card bills. Okay, so 600 plus whatever the credit card bills are. And so, but that's 1,800 that you can address to groceries and credit card bills. So probably spending too much money on groceries. And while you're at the grocery store, perhaps you're buying other stuff that you do not need. Like if you go to Walmart, oh look, they got stuff for the house and stuff for or the apartment or wherever you live. And they got this stuff. And the baby needs this. No, the baby doesn't need that new thing while you have $6.3 thousand in debt. No, baby doesn't need that. Have no car payments, just feel stuck. Any advice how to pay it off fast while saving money at the same time? Well, you don't do that. Let's scroll to the baby steps and let's see how this can answer your question. Step 1, save $1,000 as fast as possible. Now, it doesn't say save more, so you're not saving more while you're doing step 2, which is pay off debts from smallest to largest. So you're not doing any saving. When you try to do everything all at the same time, it makes it take longer. So one at a time on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. You do not move ahead until you are done with the previous one on baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Steps 4, 5, and 6 are all at the same time. Still in order, but all at the same time, 4, 5, and 6. But baby step 1, 2, and 3, you do not go into 4, 5, and 6 if you're on 1, 2, or 3. If you're on 1, you do not go into step 2. You pay minimums on those bills until you have the $1,000. But you do not save more than that. So most of the time, this is just going to be a situation where a girl here is just not being intentional with money. Because, otherwise, if she was, she would know where it was going. She would look at the bank statement from last month, look at her transactions online, and say, oh, yeah, that's right, I spent that, and that, and that, and that. And most of that stuff probably not needed. $1,800 a month to pay on 6.3K. And granted, you should be paying more than the minimums to try to get rid of that. And if you are, then that's how it's supposed to go. And the reason you feel stuck is because you don't have any extra money to spend on fun spending. Tough. You've already done your fun spending. That's how you got 6.3K into debt. So you don't do that. Any advice is welcome. And that's the advice. The advice is to follow the baby steps in order as written. No need to fix what is not broken. And as far as, not being married is one thing, even though you're shacking up and have a child together. And so get married and then you combine finances, and then it's not my boyfriend pays for rent and we split it like that. No, that doesn't work like that. Then it's all of our money goes off to pay our debt, and if he has any debt, then you're helping to pay that off too, because it becomes our debt. And so then you work together like that. Splitting it up like the way you're doing, that also can make you feel stuck. All right. Clip-worthy question there right out of the gate. Equivalent, that 1944. I don't know what that means. Moving during baby step 2, not advised, so if you can avoid it, do so. My husband and I think about moving to a new state to be near family, wondering what Dave's advice would be on moving during baby step 2. We could sell our home for $400,000 low end. Currently owe $270, so you'd have $130. We have $18K in debt. I would have that paid off within the year if we didn't move. And you could also have it paid off if you sell the home. So if you sell the home, that does limit you as far as if you're planning on getting another mortgage. But in the new state, to be near family, I would rent for a year. Anywhere you go that's new, you don't know if you want to stay there, even if family is there. So what the advice here would be is to rent there, but you use whatever equity you get out of selling your current house, and you pay off that $18,000 in debt. Also want a new vehicle, and we would spend. This might have changed order, because I think I might have done that. But you're trying to do too much at the same time. And also we want a new vehicle, and also we want to do this, and also we want to do that. And that's probably the same thing I said last time as well. Too much stuff. Pick one thing to do at a time. Too much stuff, trying to do too many things all at the same time. But yeah, you can move, but rent there in the new state. Just that carrot, equivalent that. What's the that in these? 2 in a row, whereas there's a that in, which I don't know if that means something. Are the kids on the TikTok doing something new with the word that these days? Actually, that says chest hat carrot. Okay. Anyway. Hi guys, should I buy a house based on this math? Okay, let's find out. Let's go ahead and open it up since it's longer than we can see here. Too long, didn't read at the very bottom. Okay, from Eastern Europe. I might have done this one as well. I don't want to enter discussion. I did do this one. I don't want to enter a discussion about alternatives. Living in the country with 500 monthly salary. Yeah, so this person wants advice, but only wants to do it his way, is what the gist of it was. And so you can do it your own way, and you don't have to ask anybody on Reddit or run it through the Ramsey prism. Don't have to do any of that. Oh, did I open it here and there? I did. And a new tab. Just now I did that too. Maybe I did that first one that I did as well, and just don't remember it. Hashtag dementia. All right, need true joy in life and investment. I did that one as well. Might have done that one as well. Inheritance to pay off mortgage. You would use any money coming in, including inheritance, to apply it to whatever baby step you're on, and hopefully the inheritance can take you all the way through so you're on baby step 7. High yield savings, new construction in Pensacola. That looks new. Let's see. 401k that have been funding about a decade. Started Roth IRA. Been looking at. Could I get some recommendations here? I live in the U.S. I think I did this one too. It's so hard because there's only so many financial questions, so they do tend to repeat. High yield savings account would be, you would do that after your tax advantage ones, the 401k and the Roth IRA. So Roth IRA, and if you max those, then you can invest more, but you shouldn't invest more than 15% until you're on baby step. So actually on baby step 1, you do not do that at all. Then trying to become financially mature, then follow the steps in order. Steps 1, 2, and 3, one at a time. So if you're on baby step 1, there's no investing. There's no investing on baby step 1. Channeling Chandler Bing there. Problem solver 0. Bought a new construction in the Pensacola area. Paid all cash for the property. Still have some outstanding credit card debt and minor car payment. You're doing it wrong. That should have been paid off before you buy a new house. But no mortgage for life works for me. Property taxes are much less here. Okay. Cost of less living too. Okay. How about you can get that debt paid off? Doing it in the wrong order, but it's too late to go back in time now. Unless you got a DeLorean, you cannot do that. So now you would get that debt paid off ASAP and don't take out any more debt. So, alrighty, Cajun Man. Cajun Man. That's 21. That's a Adam Sandler character from Saturday Night Live, isn't it? 401k load for a debt. Loan probably is what they mean. Good or bad idea. You do not do that you do not tap retirement except to avoid foreclosure or bankruptcy is the only time you would do that. Okay. I have to adjust my other monitor. Did that. So yeah, for the only time you do that, 401k loans, do not do that. The only time you would tap it, and it wouldn't be a loan, you would just be taking the money out. Well, I mean, you'd have penalties and taxes and such like that, but you wouldn't do that in loan form to pay off some other kind of loan, which would be the cause for the foreclosure. Imbistum, all right, have $20,000 in cash, and I want to pay want to buy a $175,000 home. Dave's first avenue for you would be to save $55,000 more and pay it completely in cash. But if you find a house you like, you can get a $55,000 mortgage on it, and he will not yell at you for that, as long as it's, which even just being $55,000, you would think it would be within his parameters, and that payment has to be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. Wife and I have no debt, currently rent at $750, it is by 100. Okay, live frugally, make $50K a year, so theoretically you can have a $125,000 mortgage even. And so a $55,000 mortgage definitely approved. We have an average of save an average of $8,000 a year. What's my best option for making an offer? I have $120 in cash to work with. The home needs about $10K of work done to it. Well, you tell them to take that $10K off of it. If you feel like they haven't taken that $10K off of the price already, you can ask. I mean, the only thing they can do is turn you down. And people always work out the options, and it's normally an option they didn't think of. A traditional mortgage, 30% down payment. No, you have cash, just pay, I'll put all the cash on it. Assuming you don't have any other debt. If you have any other debt, you should not be buying a house anyway. If you have you shouldn't have $120,000 in cash if you have other debt. Let me open it in another tab and we'll see. I think it did that again. It opened it in the same window and in the new tab. But it doesn't say any debt here. 257 comments. So yeah, you wouldn't do that. You would put down as much as you have outside of your full emergency fund, which you should also have a 6-month emergency fund before you even start saving a down payment for a house. Yeah. See if the seller will own or finance. No, don't do that. Offer $120,000 in cash. You can do that as well. You can say, will you take $120,000 in cash for this? You can offer that, and if they don't take it, then you can go for a mortgage for the rest. You can haggle, you can do all that stuff. But yeah, so this is contingent on you not having any debt, which hopefully you don't, having $120,000 in cash, but it does happen. It does happen. Yeah, see that opened again. Why did that do that? I'm gonna have to be careful with my clicking. I might need a new mouse. I already switched to one, but I think this one was having issues when I switched from it last time. Maybe I'm a hard clicker. I don't know. What is up with that? Dollars General. Credit card as kids. Were most people taught to not use credit cards, at least without paying interest as a kid? What do you mean? Oh, so you could, so what he's saying is, were you taught to not use credit cards unless it is like 0%? Or to not use them at all. Look both ways when you cross the street. Don't buy a timeshare. Never pay credit card interest. Never get a credit card at all would be would be the advice. So I don't know what your little corner of the subreddit is, what you're trying to talk about, or what you're trying to get to. So good luck to that. But no, it's no credit cards, not just not pay interest, not just I'm paying it off every time, that way it can still build my credit score. You don't need a credit score for anything, at least in the United States of America. Other countries do make it where you can't buy a house if you don't have one. They don't do manual underwriting. Apparently, that's what I've been told. Bought a house with my parents years ago, and you don't do that either. You don't buy a house with anybody you are not married to, even parents, especially family and friends. You do not buy anything, much less a house. So what do you do now? Sell it. See if they'll buy the rest of it from you. If they can't do that, you can force a sale. It's fine. And then if they have a problem with that, this is when it becomes a problem. About 10 years ago, bought a house with my parents. They contributed a third of the purchase price in cash, and I took out a mortgage for the rest and paid closing costs. I am the only name on the deed, so the house is legally mine. So you could sell it if you wanted to. I lived with them in the house for a couple of years after I got married. My spouse and I moved into a condo that my parents own near our work. So again, everything you're doing here is bad. Paging Dr. Cloud. Henry Cloud wrote a book called Boundaries. These people have none. The tenant just vacated, and it seemed like a good opportunity. Right, so now here's what it is. So when you want to do something or they want to do something, guess what you guys are? You're enmeshed. You're all of in each other's business. And then you want to do this, and it's like, there's going to be problems. And even if you can like separate it, there might be problems at Thanksgiving. Parents living in the house. The arrangement is weird, but has worked okay. Okay, so open a new tab. Let's just hit that. There we go. Okay. Just got to be careful with it. But don't pay rent to each other. Where's the thing? But has worked fine, okay? But hey, you're typing it in here now. Guess what? It's not fine now. I'm guessing. That's just a guess. Parents pay for maintenance repairs on the house, and I pay for maintenance repairs on the condo. We don't pay any rent to each other. Years passed, and my wife and I now have a child with another on the way, and are ready to buy our own house. Our plan is to pay off the mortgage on the house I bought with my parents and buy our new house in cash, or mostly cash. We're meeting with our financial pro in 2 weeks to discuss. I would discuss it with your parents first. My parents want to continue living in the house, but I have a lot of equity locked up in that house, and also will be on the hook for taxes, insurance, even if I pay the mortgage off. Well, you're not going to be paying. You're not going to be owing them for like the rent that you would be paying. So, but they would still owe you rent on it. So I guess they could still rent it from you, but I would give them an opportunity to buy it, even if it's for cheaper than you can get all the equity on it. So, and that way you can just be done with it. But you can find out. You can see if they want to get a mortgage. And you know what they can do? They can sell their condo that they own. They could sell that condo and then buy that house. So, yeah. So either way, you can sell the house, whether to them or to somebody else. And, feelings might get hurt. But again, this is why you do not buy anything with friends or family. No one except someone that you are married to. And so you don't do business. You don't go into business with somebody like that as partners and so forth. Dave's famous line, and he may not have made it up, probably didn't, the only ship that won't sail is a partnership. a lot of equity. Okay, what should we do now? Should we continue paying taxes, insurance, and wait to sell the property until my parents are no longer living there? That's fine. You just got to stay in the condo. For 2 small kids, the condo may be fine. And did he say how many bedrooms? So it just depends. It doesn't, I mean, that's the same thing. Do you need a minivan as well now that you have a second kid on the way? Do you have to have that as well? So a lot of people think that, oh, now we have 2 kids. Now we have to move into a house. No. What about India? I do not know. Oh, you guys can't see that. It'll pop up. Somebody commented on. I think somebody from India wants to see Secret of Skinwalker Ranch and commented on one of my videos. And so that showed up there. I will answer him later. It'll be, I don't know, dude. Google it. Should we exchange titles? They get the house, I get the condo. Then I sell or rent out the condo. You could do that, but there might be a difference in equity, that kind of thing. I know we need to have a conversation. That much is certain, as my good pal Spock would say. The conversation needed to have happened first before even putting it on Reddit. But I want think about what's fair ahead of time. What's fair is anything that you're both agreeable to. That's fine. Anything that you're both agreeable to is fair. But see, even that's what I'm saying. This is why you don't do this stuff. Strongly leaning towards just letting them live there, okay, and paying the tax and insurance. We are debt free and very fortunate to have a high household income, $500,000 plus. So it won't destroy us financially to do so. That said, having so much equity locked up in a house versus the market will mean that we'll lose wealth building potential in the long run. Yes, it will. And so, again, that's up to you. Letting them live there and you paying the taxes and insurance, that probably means that that takes care of it for the time being, but you never know. There could be something that happens in the future where they're going to want to do something with that house that you don't want them to do. That kind of thing. So, I mean, this just basically settles it for right now. You just going along with letting them live there. And so if you can save up down payment and buy it without selling that house, then that's fine, do so. As long as it's on, $500K plus, so you can get like a $1.25 million dollar mortgage based on your income. But don't do that. Absolutely, don't do that. Must put down a lot of cash on it. So, and like I said, if that's what houses are going to be, but I mean, if you're getting a much cheaper house, then I would be able to stomach just letting them live there still. But like if you're going to want to buy a much bigger house, that kind of thing, and it's going to be up closer to the $1 million price tag. Then you got to sell that house. All right. Okay, so do not do that. Again, the takeaway from that is do not buy anything with anybody that you are not married to. Even family. Especially family and friends, because if it's just somebody you're in business with, then that's fine if you destroy that relationship. It doesn't matter. But if they're friends or family, you generally don't want to destroy a relationship with friends or family over something money related. Big Cheese 00. If tax wasn't an issue, would Ramsey still recommend a savings account? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Let's see. I live in a country where there are no taxes, and I'm wondering if it makes sense to still contribute to a savings account for a low interest, or better in this instance, you open up an additional investment account and contribute to the stock market as if it was a savings account due to the better returns. Well, you would do that for additional savings when you're on step 7, after you are not paying for a house anymore, after you are already investing for retirement. So you would not be doing extra saving until you were in step 7. But yeah, at that point you can do savings in the stock market at that point. But if it's your emergency fund, it needs to be immediately accessible, so it can't be that. So the tax on it isn't the issue on it. That's not the issue, unless you're talking about the taxes that would be on it for taking the money out of the investment account. So, but that still would be that's not where what your money goes to. Your money goes to the baby steps until you are in step 7, and then you can invest more than 15% for retirement. Safe ad 6945, selling property question. Another one. Last December, I bought a twin house. She's a twin house. Is that like a townhouse in Middle East? Installment 5% deposit and 2 installments, in total $28,005 US dollar, and the remaining amount is 6.7K until 2032. Total $200K US dollars. Unit itself will increase annually around 10%, up to 8 to 15%, but every time I will pay an installment, it will be harder to sell. However, I got an offer to receive what I paid plus 13K, and the buyer continue the installments. That's fine if you want to get out of it. Investment profit will be 45% if I sold it now, and that's fine. So even if you want to get out of a property, even breaking even is fine. It just depends on if it's worth it to you to do so. Should I keep it and keep paying the installments for a higher offer during the next years, or sell now? It depends on if you want to be done with it or not, or if you want more money out of it. You have to make that decision. We can't make that for you. Retirement question. And sometimes it's worth to, you say, well, I might be able to get $2,000 more if I wait another 2 years. Is that fine with you? And you might not get to $2,000. You might even get less than you're getting right now. You never know. You never know. Upstate New York due to retirement question. Backing off contributions once compound interest makes contributions obsolete. No. Dave wants you still in the game. The interest, the fact that happens, that you have enough contributions already, that it is making you a lot of money without adding extra to it, that doesn't matter. Dave wants you putting at least 15% into retirement your whole working life. If anybody's used yet, you probably noticed after your retirement account, 401k gets a certain balance. Seems to be $150,000 to $200,000. Plus that your max contributions almost become obsolete compared to, but you don't have to, you could still, you could still do the max contribution no matter what. So you could still do that. Now, and you should be maxing out a Roth IRA first, unless you make too much money to do that. You make a lot of money. Once there's a large balance, you just have to work to get that large balance there. I'm thinking about really going hard at the account for the next 4 or 5 years, then backing off. That's not the advice, especially if you are still addressing kid college and you have a house to pay off. You don't do extra on step 4. 15% is the max you do until you're in step 7. People always want to improve the baby steps, and this is the way the baby steps are, and this is the fastest way to get you from 1 to 7. And then once you're on step 7, you can do any of this dumb, stupid crap you want to do. It feels so good to know where my money is going. Absolutely. Jesus is cool. I'm back in baby step 1 due to vet bill and moving expenses. Okay. I'm moving from a place that was way too expensive for me. Excellent. To a new place. In the past, moving has always been so expensive and stressful. As always felt I had no idea where the money would come from. and ended up putting everything on cards, and I barely even planned it because I didn't want to think about how much I couldn't afford it. Yeah, and so that's normal for people, and they do that, and they, especially the exact people that should be paying more attention to where every dollar goes to, they often don't because of this reason. It's so expensive and stressful, and I barely even planned it because I didn't want to think about it. And so that's dumb. That's the dumbest excuse, but that does happen. Because by not thinking about it, you're making it worse. The problem indeed here is, again, in the mirror, and so you need to fix that problem. This year, the first time, I've had a budget and know where my money goes. Excellent. I've been piling up money for the move. Right. So I think you got it. It feels so good to know where money's going. Absolutely it does. And so now you're in charge. And so now you don't have to, I don't want to think about it because it's not fun. And so now you're thinking about it and you're in control of it. That's much, much better. Sleeping Cow 7, help with the cost of groceries. Well, buy cheaper groceries. Buy cheaper stuff. Don't buy as much stuff if you're buying too much food. Husband and I are currently working on baby step 4. We live in the Maryland, Virginia, D.C. metro area. The DMV does not play on expenses or house prices at all. Very, very richy there. You know why? Because they got all the politicky people there and associated people with the government. And so, yeah, we're paying for all that, basically. And we are spending so much on groceries. This month we had already spent $600 for how many people? It's just the two of us. $600, $300 a month. Let's see. What is that? Boo, 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 boo. Do, 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 do. I mean, that's not crazy, but you could still get that down some. I don't think that's crazy, but you could still get that down some. Like, for example, you start shopping at Aldi or the Walmart instead of the Whole Foods. Hopefully they're allowed in the DMV area, hopefully. But I don't know. Let's see. In total, I'm probably spending $150, $100 a week and making 16 meals. I will admit I'm not the most frugal grocery shopper. Well, there's your problem. I enjoy cooking, so I like to buy different meats and try different recipes. How about that not happen for a while until you get your stuff together? And I do care about good quality, healthy food, right? Well, you can't do both. You can't overspend on food and also get through the baby steps as fast as you're supposed to. So find some, even if, okay, so say you can choose to keep that at $600, then you got to cut out something else. You got to cut out something else that's $50 a month or $100 a month. Cut out something else and then spend the $600 and buy your meals because I like to do. Yeah. See, whatever you're talking about, that is something you want to do. That's not a need. The baby steps are a need. So that's the advice on that. So yeah, I got no problem with you switching stuff around. And so, if you want to give up, what could you give up? You could give up like all but one streaming service and then spend $600 a month. Fine. Because that will basically be what you could cut out from one. Best case scenario, obviously, you go down to one streaming service and you cut down the $600. It's not as much of a problem for them because they're on baby step 4. Hopefully, they have done 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully, you never know though. You never know. Obsidian with a 4 in it to be cool. In EMC, all right. Obsidian EMC. Advice for bankrupt in progress. Currently waiting my 341 hearing and subsequent discharge of debt, hopefully in a Chapter 7. You can still negotiate with your lenders. the people you owe money to, you can still negotiate with them. To my lawyer, so you're keeping the 13K car debt and 21K SUV debt. Those are probably the problem. And you may not be fixing anything by getting rid of it. As I really need vehicles because I'm rural and the used market is terrible. Anyway, upon taking the car to my dealership, they informed me that I need a new engine. Nice going, nice going. And the warranty company won't cover anything until I pay $2,000 to tear the engine, down the engine, and prove it wasn't lack of maintenance, which I don't know because I just bought the car. Right, so you don't know. Yeah. Let's see what the rest of this stuff is, but so you should have sold those a long time ago. Shouldn't even got them. Probably is what the situation is. Instead of tearing it down, and now I'm looking at discharging the 13K car since it's a gamble I don't want to take. My question is, should I truly be debt free and discharge the 21K SUV? I kind of want to, but my wife doesn't. Of course she doesn't, because she wants to drive an SUV, of course. And I also will be entering the used market desperate, which is bad. Yep, because there's no guarantee I'll find anything good unless I finance something. No, well, you just let that not be an option. And you can't do that. If you just filed bankruptcy, most likely. Do I finance a 10K car for the wife? No. You're bankrupt. So you're probably going to have a tough time, or your interest is going to be sky high and go find myself a beater. You find beaters for the both of you kids is what you do. You don't keep kicking the can down the road on this debt stuff. Well, I'll just get into bankruptcy and then I'll start taking out debt again as soon as possible. So that would of course be the Grant Cardone situation. And he's still a financial advisor somehow. Somehow people are still watching. Yogia. Max Mortgage we can afford. Okay, good evening. Hi guys. I'm going to attempt to explain my unique situation. Everybody thinks they have a unique situation. If you have questions, please ask. I will respond with the hopes you can give me proper advice. I've been battling with purchasing a home for nearly 2 years. I live in Vermont. Thank you. What does that mean? Okay. You're welcome. The average cost to buy a home in Vermont is $392,000, $682. Average cost for property tax is almost $5,000 annually. Male, 26, working in government, making 110-year gross income. 15% of my paycheck fit in 401k. So we'll see if the person has any debt, and then that's a negatory on buying a house. Expecting to get a large $7 pay increase this year. Okay, is that large? My monthly take-home net is $4,000. Granted, 7 is great. It's better than $6.99. Monthly take-home is $4,000. Okay, 110K US dollars saved in high yield savings account. Paid off. Okay, government worker. It's PAID. Hashtag 3rd grade. Paid off all loans and do not have any currently, and don't have any again, except for maybe the mortgage. Not investing in anything except the 401k. Okay, so if you want, you can stop doing the 401k contributions. It's almost said donations. No, it's contribution. While you save a higher down payment faster, you could do that. Not investing in anything else. Okay, fiance, get married first before you buy a house. So, and again, nothing unique about any of this, my friend. Sorry about that. Heard it all before. Female, 25-year-old, working in the hospital. for $1,000. $5 pay increase. Okay, no debts and paid again. Wrong spelling for paid. Not investing in okay. Okay. Each home that we look at that we actually like is in the price range of $400 to $550K. Okay. Coworkers have told me we can afford that price, but I feel like it's horrible advice. Am I just being scared? Also, many homes up here in the area, Chittenden County, are listed for that price, but not worth that price, in my opinion. You could have considered leaving the state. You can also offer lower than the listed price as well. So if you don't think they're worth it and they're not selling, then maybe they'll sell to you for lower. But let's see. So let's pretend. Okay. So get married first of all, and you both make the same money. So it's $8,000 a month. So approximately, let's see. So that's okay. Let me get the calculator out. I should have a... Oh, I could do it on my phone. Oh well, I'll do it next time on my phone. Be quicker probably. What are we doing? Oh, so 8,000 times 12. Oh, so it's 96,000. So, and then times 2.5. That's gonna be about 240, dog. So yeah, so you can't afford it. I mean, you can get a $400,000 house. That's fine, but you have to put $160,000 down on it. Does it say you have 110K? So, oh, and she has 20K. So save up a little bit more, and then you can do that. That's it. But you just got to get the mortgage down to about 240K. So yeah, you got to put down a larger down payment. Cool. So yeah, it's not crazy. But step one, get married. I know that's not step one on the baby steps, but that any couple that is trying to get a house, or even that are doing finances together, which it sounds, I don't know if you are or not, but marriage is first before you buy anything together. Again, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter if it's a fiance. Doesn't matter. Still have to be married before you buy something like that together. So, but yeah, you can afford it, just more down payment. So it might take you another year to save that. Or maybe you have, and you can also stop contributing. And if she can as well. And that way you can save up 401k through work, for her as well. So yeah, you can save up the larger down payment quicker. And so yeah, you could do it. I mean, it's not as good as you just being able to put the 110k you have down already. But so that's 130, so you only need 30 more K, so it's not that much at all. So yeah, you can afford that. Just got to get that mortgage amount down. And again, not unique situation. Everybody thinks theirs is a unique situation. Zach DLC. Private student loans, refi pros and cons. The pro would be to get it to a lower interest rate, and Dave even recommends, what is it called? Why refi? College guy pilot just moved out of town. Well, you need to be flying extra and stuff until you get that bad boy paid off, dog. Start airline job in less than 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, take extra job if you want. Let's see what the debt is. Debt is $90,000 in private. Variable rate student loans deferred until July. Variable rate of 11 currently, which I think is nuts. So yeah, I mean, just start paying on them. And that'll give you less to. You can refi. Try Y refi, and get those out of there. You could check with I don't know what their rates are either. if they're lower than 11%, but you need to check into all of that. 16,000 a car note that needs to be paid off first, and minimums on the I see, and the 20,000. So first you would pay off the $16,000 car note today. If you have extra savings, maybe don't, maybe you don't. And then the 20,000, and then the 90,000. But you can refi to try to get a lower interest rate on that 90. On to the question. I already answered it. I'm trying to figure out if it may be worth it to refinance the private student loan. It will be depending on the interest. Yeah. My other reason would be getting my father's name off the loan. Yep, that would be good too. Yep, he was generous. Yep. Parents try to be nice and do that, but a lot of times it screws over the parents because the kid doesn't pay for it. And so if the kid doesn't pay for it, then guess who they're going to? And the person that tries to do the right thing always is the one that gets stuck with the bill. Rather than not affect him any longer, if I could save the money in the profit. Yeah, sure. Several offers for refis in the 6-7 fixed range on a solid payment schedule, whereas my current one. Yeah, so check that. Check by refi in addition to the offers that you've already gotten. Oh, I've considered going to Y refi, but my credit isn't good enough. Oh, and I'm not in default. Oh, so their strategy in negotiating the debt down may not work. All right, well, I mean, that's 5% difference. Okay, so you just got to realize the problem, though, is the loans themselves, not the interest rate. The interest rate does not help and does add more debt onto it. I understand that, but that is the deal. I don't see myself struggling financially and hope to use this new income ahead to pay off these loans. Yeah, as efficiently. Change that to quickly as possible. Continue living like you're broke and are not a pilot salary, that you're not making $100,000 until you get all this debt. Bye-bye. Just one opinion on how solid an option refinancing student debt is. You can, especially with such a large amount in one loan. Yeah, I mean, you can, but the idea is that you don't have it long enough. I mean, with $100,000, obviously, it's going to take you multiple years to get that done, and that interest does add up. But the idea is that you don't refi, because refining, they're going to charge you for that as well. That's not free. So they're going to charge you for that, and that's also going to add to your debt because that's going to be added to the loan amount. And so you got to consider that in and subtract that from the difference between this 6-7 and the 11. So if it's 7%, go with the higher one, and that's 11 cents, so that's 4%. And so how much percent is what the closing cost is going to be, or the fee, refinancing fee is going to be. So you got to consider all of that. And so if you're doing all of that for just 1 or 2%, don't do it. Just pay it off quickly. Because then you can take the money that you would be using to well, actually they just put it on the debt, so that's not like extra cash that you're having laying around, unless you're gonna. Some people do, when they like refi, they do pay the closing costs in cash so that they don't get ended up and added onto the first onto the loan rather. And so you could do that with out of your first one of your first paychecks. How about that? Instead of blowing it. Again, live like you are just still a college student and pay off that debt as soon as possible would be the advice. New to Dave Ramsey. Hi all. Hi guys. I'm a short-time lurker new to Dave Ramsey. Can you help me figure out where to start? Well, all right, so how come all my stuff closed? RamseySolutions.com. Products. Wait, I don't want to buy anything. I just want to get started. That's fine. It's still under products. Where'd it go? Oh, you just got to highlight it. You just got to mouse over it, and there it is. The baby steps. Look, that didn't cost anything. And so this is what you do. Step 1, 2, and 3 in order, one at a time. No pass and go. No moving forward until you get the previous one done. No investing while you're doing steps 1, 2, and 3. They have to be done before you're investing. If you're already investing, you stop until you get back to step 4. Until you get on step 4. And then you can return to investing. Steps 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time. And in step 7, you can invest more than 15% at that point. And so that's what you can do. And so that is free to do. And that's basically what I did. I just looked at the baby steps. I watched the Ramsey show every day. I read the book Total Money Makeover by Dave, and he just put out a new 20th anniversary edition of that. But I got it from the library, so I didn't spend any money. I didn't give Mr. Ramsey any of my money, although it's very well deserved. If anything you buy from him helps you get out of debt faster, it is worth every penny for sure. And so, but I personally didn't give him any money until I got the Biden bucks, the Biden check, Donald Trump sent out money, so those were the Trump bucks during the pandy, and Biden did it as well. And so I got that check at the same time that they were having a sale on, it was like half price for, what is it called? Financial Coach Master Training is what it's called, FCMT. And so I did that. Right at that check came in, and that check was, I think, $1,200. And so the financial coaching cost $1,000. So I thought, well, if I don't do it now, I'm not ever going to do it. And so I did it. And so that's how that goes. So you don't have to spend any money on this stuff. But again, they also have, you can do, let's go to the main page. They also have, where's the get started? Get out of debt, see, learn more. And you can, I mean, this stuff gives you general information about it. If you want to take classes, you can do that as well. Is that in there? It used to be a link that said get started. Oh, maybe right there, take action. Learn more budgeting, see how it is. Okay, start building with your free budget. And so all of this stuff is, and then they push you towards the app, and the app is free unless you want to connect your bank to it. But you can keep it free by just manually entering in your transactions rather than have it be connected to your bank. And then look, listen, watch. And so, there's nothing even that says here, buy something yet. There's nothing on here. But they used to have a thing that said get started, and let's see if it's somewhere on here. Take control of your money. See the baby steps, books. So they're saying you can buy the books. Smart Investor, free tools, resources. You watch the show every day. You can have it on. You don't have to watch it while it's live. The video isn't on YouTube, isn't live anyway. It's delayed 2 hours from the live radio show. So let's see. So if I wanted to do, there it is, Financial Peace University, Start FPU. So is where it would be. Okay. Well, that's not as quite as intuitive to get to as where they just had get started on there, and then that gave you FPU. Maybe they wanted to give you a chance to do it for free. I don't know why it was changed. But there you go. And so you can do that. If you've taken it and it helped you and you're much, much better financially, you can buy that as a gift for somebody else. Absolutely. 8 hours, 41 minutes of lessons. And you can just watch these by yourself, but you can also enroll in a class. And that way you discuss it with other people. And that can be through video conferencing, through like Zoom or some other video conferencing. or it can be an in-person class. And depending on if you are somebody that responds much better to things like this in a group of people, then again, worth every penny. $179, I think. Let's see. It doesn't say. Boom, 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 boom. That's just going to tell me the same thing. Okay, I think it's $179. I think. I can't remember unless they raised it since the last time I knew what price it was. All right. So where were we? Okay. So, but that's what you do. You just do the baby steps and you just watch as much. And also, you can go to YouTube. And so there's a ton of clips from the Ramsey show on there. And so if you have any problem or any question about anything, like this person, perhaps this person would like more information on baby step 1, you go to YouTube and you type in Ramsey baby step 1, and I'm sure there's a bunch of videos on that. Now, there are going to be, anything you search, there's going to be some that criticize Dave's steps. So don't do that. Just read the ones that are from the Ramsey channels. And so you can do all that, again, all that for free. And so I'm just saying that I did not do that. I did not spend any money. Like I said, I didn't take Financial Peace University until I coordinated it. I did 2 of them so far. I should do another one. Maybe after I move again. Let's see. Pillow Snooze 123. Would it be out of line for me to offer a match to my parents for their debt that they incurred to support me through my education? Is it paid off? You could pay it off for them. Just graduate. Oh, be starting work. Okay, so you don't. If you're just graduating, you don't have it yet. I take home pay from this work is more than doubling it, my current living expenses. Right. Tend to keep living standards relatively unchanged. Right. You live like a broke college student until you get that debt gone. Parents supported throughout education. Today, they disclosed they have incurred some personal debt to support me through school. They asked me to put aside a small amount out of my salary for their emergency fund. I have absolutely no issue with that. You can even, if you don't have any debt in your name at all, you can even consider that debt in your name, and you consider that your baby step 2, and you pay that whole thing off. Let's see, even after their emergency fund set aside, I will have a significant amount left over. Yeah, so you can pay off the whole thing if you want to. Sure, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And again, this again would be why you don't do this. Because they said, oh, well, we took out loans. Now, so the issue here was there's 2 problems here. And so it's not just this person's fault, but if the parents didn't say, we're going to help you with school, and then didn't say, but we have to take out a loan to do it, if they didn't tell you that until after you graduated, then that's boundary problems both ways. So paging Dr. Cloud again. So we do want to see if there's any more about it. They asked me to put it aside. So, but so it could easily have been a problem then. When they said they asked me to put a small amount of salary, the kid could have said, no, I didn't tell you to do that, and then not do it. And so then that probably only cost you a relationship with your parents. That's fine. So it's not. I was being sarcastic. Even after the emergency fund set aside, I will have my daughter, after she learned what sarcasm was, and I think that was from either it was from Harrison Ford. I can't remember if it was from Han Solo or Indiana Jones or both, but like she was confused one time, and so I paused it, and I said, okay, well, yeah, he doesn't really mean that. he's being sarcastic, and that's like when you don't really mean it, but you're saying it so that the other person knows, how they're like doing something wrong or something like that. I had a much better explanation for that back then. I was younger. I didn't have hashtag dementia yet, and so once I explained that to her, that was great. And so then any movie we would watch, she would say, "He's being sarcastic." It's funny. Love you, Bella. I'll send her this clip. Even after the emergency fund set aside, I will have a significant amount left over each month. Okay, help them. They're notoriously bad with money. Yeah, you don't want to enable them, but I mean, if you are taking on that debt, I mean, that's got nothing to do with the rest of their money. You can pay off that debt, and yes, that will allow them to do dumb stuff with money they would use to be paying that. But if you're going to take on that as you, that's basically separate from all the other stuff. Although they make six figures, sure, they don't have a monthly budget, sure. The more you make, the less attention you're paying to it, the more trouble you can get with somebody even barely getting by. Yeah, they barely know what they're taking on. They couldn't even tell me what the interest rate on the loan was, right? Attempt to balance my desire and help there. I came up with a below proposal that I want to present to my parents. You can present it to whatever. Oh, a match. So they put it on there, and I mean that's probably fair, or you could just pay it all off for them. So just paying it all off for them takes care of it, and there's no other problems unless you're going to feel resentful about that, since you weren't told ahead of time that they would be taking out debt. I can see how someone would look at my proposal and say that I should put that kind of restriction on my help, given the whole reason why I will be making the new salaries because of parent support. Yeah, but you didn't know they were going into debt. So thanks for everyone with insightful responses. Okay, I don't think I'll do a match. Okay. I think I will abide by their request for the emergency fund. The amount they're asking for is negligible, that it's more pain to resist it. Okay, that's fine. And maybe if they're asking for an emergency fund, hopefully they're just going to use that for emergencies, and they're going to be more responsible now, hopefully. Put some money aside to lump sum towards the loan. There you go. Cool. All right. That works for me. All right. Since we got not only tomorrow's answering your financial questions, but also the Monday Ramsey Show After Show and the Thursday After Show, I'm going to save some questions. And so I'm only going to do an hour today and tomorrow, probably. Maybe an hour and a half tomorrow. We'll see. See how it goes. Alrighty. All right, so let's see. So as I said, the upcoming streams will be answering your financial questions. That's Saturdays and Sundays. And it finally got warm enough in here. I set it way up high, and it finally got warm enough in here to turn the AC on. So good timing on that. Ramsey Show After Show, Monday, May 27th, Memorial Day. That's 2 days from now. And also Thursday, May 30th. Also Wednesday, June 19th, which is Juneteenth. And Friday, June 21st as well. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you can do that via video conferencing. You can schedule that at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Email me about anything on my YouTube channel or anything about coaching. coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Cash App can go to $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Alrighty. So once again, if you scroll down, you will see the past live streams, which will be mostly financial, but definitely financial will be answering your financial questions, which is this stream. The music playlist with 8 or 9 Ramsey-centric songs in there. So give those a listen if you're so inclined. Brand new one coming out this weekend. And it's going to be a much better video than just me basically singing over a PowerPoint of the lyrics. Is how I've done them so far. Because I didn't know how to make videos. I'm trying to learn that stuff though. So we'll see how that works out. And of course the Ramsey Show After Show. There are 370 of those because I used to be able to do those every day while at work. But then I moved and got a different job and now I can't do that. So I can only do it on days that I'm off from work. All right. So once more, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for doing that. And subscribing and commenting and liking. All of that stuff helps. And my channel has just been taken off the past 6 months. And much obliged. Starting to make a little bit of money off of it. And so much appreciation for that. So, but I'll see you tomorrow with another Answering Your Financial Questions live. Make smart financial decisions every day.